Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Yeah, Josh, you're supposed to be on camera tonight, but anyway, yeah, anyway, so Josh was supposed to be on camera, but I think he got a little shy and kind of backed away. So whatever. Um, does my audio sound okay? Somebody said it was crackling a little bit, but I don't know. Hey, Raina, how you doing? Yeah, Josh gets a little shy at times. That's why he likes to be in the dark. So, um, pardon me. I'm sorry. I'm coughing. Um, so my second camera is down. I actually sold my second camera and was supposed to get my other one yesterday, but it's delayed because of the flooding in New Jersey. So, yeah, it's delayed. So it'll be here either Monday or Tuesday. So, yeah, there's no second camera tonight. So you'll have to stare at me all night. So I can't switch cameras like I normally do, but it's all right. Yeah, we had some stuff planned for tonight. Um, we're going to probably do some experiments, but now that Josh isn't here, I don't know. So now I got to give him crap all night. So yeah, if you guys in the chats want to give him crap too, go for it. Um, so what was I going to say? Um, yeah, I tried to wake him up by putting his hand in warm water, see if that would wake him up with a little surprise. Um, but anyway, Kanga got woken up by Deb throwing some dung at him, hit him in the forehead. Yeah, Josh, you're supposed to be on camera, not just in chats. Um, hey, Amanda. Carl, that's exactly right. Yeah, I'm being a little smartass today. Even though I'm tired, maybe that's what it is. I just didn't sleep well last night. Then I was kind of busy a little bit today, trying to get some things done. Um, I wanted to do some experiments tonight, but I really didn't get some things done so I could do that. Um, hmm. Anyway, no, I was just thinking if I can still do it or not. So anyway, those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, um, we do live ghost box sessions, so we try to communicate with loved ones, do some experiments, things like that. So, but it's a fun group. Um, I'm always looking forward to Saturday nights. Um, I even contemplated, since I didn't have a second camera, of not doing the show tonight, but I figured, you know what, we'll just deal with whatever. We can make it through it. Um, yeah, I actually want to do some more experiments. I want to get either a vaporizer, um, with some lights to kind of illuminate the mist and record, um and get like a camera on it to see maybe if we can get something to manifest in the mist. Yeah, I wanted to start doing a lot more experiments here. So I also want to do maybe some type of experiments, like group session experiments, give you guys some homework to try. And I just want to see if I give you guys an assignment to do and we can kind of talk about the results. Um, if you guys will be interested in doing something like that, let me know. I just have a lot of ideas going through my head, trying to mix things up. If you guys have, if anybody has Android devices, let me know who has an Android device. There's some apps on the Android that I want to try out. Uh, just because I know that some of them have some reverse banks. So I wanted you guys to download one of the apps that I'll give you guys. I'll assign you guys each of you an app to download, and then we can do some experiments. And um, so, all right, Josh, if you're just going to be in the chats, I need you to do something. Do me a favor. See, now I sound bossy tonight. um, I need um at least 4 people that has Android devices. If you can take down their names. Um, so basically, what I'm gonna need is your names. That I need 4 people with an Android. Your names and an email address. Um, so that way I could contact you and I can tell you the app to download. So each person's going to try out a different app. And what we might do, I'll have to figure out how we're going to do this. Or we could even do it live here, um, maybe next week. But I'll have an assignment for you guys to do. So if you could take this down, Josh, and yeah, then we'll get started. Also, I'm gonna update um my website. Uh, so I'm gonna start putting content up on the website. I'm gonna start working on that. I got to come up with some ideas. I need to brainstorm with Josh. Um, Carl, go ahead and send it to me again. Um, I might. If you can just type in your email address here in the comments, and Josh will take down notes. So I hope he's awake and taking notes. Yeah, I'm giving people crap tonight. Told you I'm being bossy. Um, that's what happens when my mind gets going when I'm offline and coming up with ideas. Thanks, Carl. Thank you, Amy. So once we get started, then once we get started, we'll do a couple of sessions, but I want to talk about some other things too. So this set tonight's I know if people are out there they want to do sessions, yes, we'll still do sessions, but I also want to um I kind of want to break things up a little bit. Um just because I want to do some new things and see if this will also because I mean this is a great group and I figured that I know people come on here to speak with loved ones and things like that, but also I want to see if trying to communicate with loved ones, I want to see if there's going to be another way that we can break through communication also. And that's why I want to try some different things. Okay, Christina. I'll start or signing you up for a bunch of sites so you can start getting spammed. Yeah, Kanga. So I know that there's like a few of you out there that do listen to some of the experiments that I've been or one of the experiments I've been working on. Well, there's been different variations of that experiment. Um and it's with last week's results, I mean, well, some of the results that I received last week were pretty crazy. Or earlier this week, I should say. I don't know if people here heard it. But I played it on the Wednesday show. If you guys want to hear, I don't know if I still have it. Actually, accidentally erased one of my hard drives this the other day. I formatted it on accident. So, yeah, my mind has been all screwed up working on this stuff. Hold on, I'm still looking. Oh yeah, no, here they are. Sorry, I have like 6 hard drives. Yeah. I was kind of pissed because one of them has a bunch of evidence on there that I've had over the years. So, the only thing I could do now is laugh because it's like, "Oh, crap," but whatever. Yeah, so exactly, Carl. That's exactly what, yeah, I wanted to cry, but I'm like, "You know what? What can I do?" Maybe it happened for a reason. I don't know. Who knows? Um, all right. So, yeah, I have another announcement too. Um, so I've been getting a lot of requests to build some boxes for them, and I feel so bad that that I said no. I actually retracted that and said I would do it for them. So yeah, I got like four special boxes I have to build. One of them I have to try to see if I can get some parts for. The original vendor said no, that he couldn't send any, but I have an alternative plan. So, anyway, The what's that supposed to mean, Carl? Wait, here it is. Well, thank you, Amy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to get some. Are you serious? There's witches on there? Hey, Deborah, how you doing? That's kind of funny. Um, yeah, we were. I put out. There's a special box that was designed. Actually, it's an intercom box. Um, that's pretty rare to find. So I put out something because I have somebody that is looking for one of those boxes. It was used on one of the geo boxes, and he thought I still had that geo box. Unfortunately, I sold it. Now I'm kicking myself just because I wish I had it so I could have had the case replicated and recreated. So he's looking for one, but I found one in the UK. Hopefully, we'll be able to get our hands on it so we can get it replicated. And I saw one that just sold on, I guess I just missed it. One just sold recently on eBay. Not a geo box, but just the case where I'm looking for. And it was at a really reasonable price. And I didn't really care about the condition it's in because I'm going to get it replicated. Um, and reconstructed by a craftsman. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to find one of those boxes. Hopefully I'll be able to find one. And hopefully maybe the one in the UK will become available to me to replicate. But anyway, um the honestly, no, I don't think so. Um no, there because yeah, they won't be able to recreate the box that I'm using. Um The frequencies that I'm using, maybe, but the box, no. The actual radio that I'm using and how I constructed the radio, no. Unless they get their hands on one of the 2 prototypes that I built. Um, yeah, I was able to, um wait, where is it? Sorry, I keep on pulling up the wrong people are too fast. They're typing questions and then, I can't click on the response. Yeah, I found somebody to help her out. Friend of mine, actually, I totally sometimes when like I'm get a little emotional and I'm trying to figure something out, I always, because sometimes you don't you always forget about somebody else that's closer. And I just wasn't even thinking that I was like, oh my God, he's in Atlanta. She's in Stone Mountain, which is pretty close. They're about, I don't know, 20 miles away. Actually, she messaged me. She asked if I was going to be on. Um, So she might be on here. Let me see. Tasha, are you on here tonight? I haven't seen her in the comments, so yeah, I do. I mean, I always work on the backwards sweep, on the reverse sweep. Um so yeah, I still work on that. I don't know. Josh might have fallen asleep. I haven't seen him comment. But we'll get started on sessions here. I'm just kind of ranting or just kind of chatting a little bit. Just trying to get some get this going and to get caught up in the chats, and then we'll get started. Yeah, thank you, Deb, for calling that out. Yeah, see, Josh hasn't commented. Maybe he did fall asleep. Somebody needs to throw some dung at him, hit him in the forehead, wake his ass up. All right, let's go ahead and start up with the session. Unfortunately, I can't switch cameras. Um Oh, he came on. Look at who it is. Hold on one second. He's awake. He's doing some he has to do some shots really quick, but he's awake.
It's going to take my time drinking my water.
Drinking water my ass. He's drinking some tequila.
It's just water.
Don't
So,
believe him. Don't believe.
all right. So we've got to work on our communication because I thought you just wanted me in the chats.
Nope.
Oh boy. I'm going to hear about this later.
That's why it says with special guest.
I know, but I thought like special guests in the chats on text. Okay. In person. I was in my pajamas. Do you know what I was doing?
Sleeping.
No, I wasn't sleeping. I was working on coding our project.
Oh, okay.
And I was comfortable. I was in my pajamas, had a little snack. My boys are asleep. It's nice and quiet. I'm like, oh, the Saturday show's coming on soon. So, I've got all my work here and, I've got the iPad over here for the Saturday show. Rob's like, yeah, I don't know where Josh is. And then I got that sinking feeling in my stomach. You know what I mean? Like that hot, anxious feeling. I was like, oh my gosh, am I supposed to be on camera? And then I type in, I'm like, on camera? Question mark? You're like, yeah. I'm like, oh no. So I turn everything off, save my work, run downstairs, fire up my 10-year-old iMac. And here I am.
Yeah, see, exactly. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I guess you guys were throwing it. It hit me in the face. Yeah. Psychically, it hit me in the face.
And Kanga got hit in the forehead. He had to go wash it off. That's why he was late.
Okay, so it happened to a few of us tonight. Oh, that's wild. I'm not even in my collared shirt and tie, Rob. I'm in a t-shirt.
That's good.
Yeah.
He's got some scruff going on. See,
yeah,
Dave.
I didn't think I was going to be on camera tonight, so I've even got a little bit of facial hair. Oh boy.
He had to change out of his PJs.
Yes, my sons aren't the problem. I am the problem. You're right, Carl. You're right. I don't know how you
I put your hand in warm water to wake your ass up.
Well, you did it virtually or psychically because I felt that sinking feeling. I was in that hot, like, when you're late for work or something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be on right now. And I closed everything down and flew out of there. I hope I saved my work. So we'll see.
Yep, he sure did.
Well, hey guys, thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be a special guest on this show. And, I can tell you that, this is your creation with your friends in the audience. And, I'm honored to be here because I know it's a special show and I never wanted to impose, but I'm certainly happy to be helping any way I can.
Well, this can looks blue when it's actually purple.
Just ignore everything I just said.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I had to ignore you.
No, I get it. I know what's coming. I know what's coming. You rushed off to put your face on and fix. I didn't even do my makeup, you guys. No time for makeup or hair. Nothing backstage. This is just Josh coding to Josh t-shirt. That's it.
I didn't let the makeup artist get to him.
No, it didn't get to me. I didn't even shave. I feel so weird.
Okay, so damn it.
Right, Deb, right. I guess that would be weird. Wednesday, shirt and tie. I guess Saturday is going to be casual. What did I miss? Did you guys run a session?
No, we talked about
Kanga.
me coming out of box building retirement to build some boxes for a few people.
I told you I would get him out of retirement. I told you.
There's some people that are complaining about some other box builders. So they want one of my boxes. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and well, there's going to be other things for you to build too. So, I mean,
Yeah, no, exactly.
you-
Yeah,
you're
and Carl was asking if another group that's doing some special
Carl,
research,
right?
if they'll be able to steal the idea from my box.
Say that one more time. If someone's doing special research,
Well, somebody that's another group that's doing some special research,
okay.
if they um if they'll be able to replicate my box that I'm working on.
Okay, is this a hypothetical or is this a real life situation?
No, real life
So,
situation.
so people that are well. You've already given instructions on how to build your box. There's been no secrets.
Not really.
Well, there's videos on YouTube explaining like, how you did something.
Here's the
It let me in theory, yes, Carl. In theory, yes. That's going to be a lot of minimization of product. I mean, you know what I'm saying, Rob? In theory, it could be, but it would be a while in development, even by modern technology. Modern technology. It would take a very long time. That's why so much outboard gear and other equipment's needed. It's more of like a stationary desktop project per se. But forward thinking, I would imagine it could be. I mean, that's kind of like what I'm trying to do with the box. Rob's working on it in one area. I'm trying to code and build some things so that it can be more portable, or you could have the novelty of actually holding the box in your hands rather than relying on so much equipment. Now, with that being said, I don't know that you could reduplicate that much outboard gear or those many processes right now in a small little device that's held in your hand, but I would imagine it would eventually be possible. That's what I'm trying to work on.
hold on, Deb. I'm trying to find your question. I saw you wrote something and I'm trying to find it. Sorry guys, we'll get started on the session soon. I just wanted to talk a little bit first. Um and I promise we'll get to doing some sessions here in a second.
I hope I didn't hold it up. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Where is it, Deb?
What are we doing first? Reverse?
Yeah, we'll do reverse.
Okay.
Where Sorry, I'm looking for for a question that Deb wrote. Where is it?
Let's see. Hey, Corey. Hi, everyone. By the way, I know people were saying hi and I missed it. I don't want to miss you saying hello. So hello, everyone. And thank you for everyone in the audience allowing me to join the show. That's really cool.
It was something about frequencies, Deb, and I'm looking for that question. Um, I can't find it.
We were all late tonight. It wasn't just me. Everyone's giving me a hard time. It looks like a lot of people were late. I'm sure my name will be on the tardy list, but I expect to see some of your names on there as well. Oh, and I got to make notes of emails. That's right. Gotta.
You didn't do that yet?
No. Gee whiz. Hold on a second. I got to get some. Hold on.
And
Hold
now
on.
I don't know if we'll be able to scroll back and get those emails. Hold on.
Oh my gosh. No. We'll be able to scroll back. It's in the live chat. It'll be saved. Because when you go on YouTube, you click live chat, you can pull up everything.
Oh, you can?
Yes, you can pull it up. So it's documented, but I mean, I didn't realize how much work I had to do. Hold on a second. Where? Hold on.
Oh, I still see emails. Okay. We're good here. Sorry, Deb. I'm looking for your question. I know you said something about what frequencies am I using, but stupid mosquito, where are you? I'm being buzzed by mosquitoes.
Boy, this is just. They're never going to let us live down this Saturday show, Rob.
No, it's
And we're live. It's like we didn't even cut and start over. This is just happening.
sorry guys. We're trying to, because we're going to be doing some experiments. So I was looking for 4 people that had Android
Thank you, Carl.
devices. So I just needed 4 names and 4 names and and their email address, so I can email them with what to download. Deb, I can't find it. It was something about frequencies, but I can't find it. I see Carl's, but not your. I know I saw it at one point.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Carl. I have your email addresses.
So,
thanks for understanding, Melody.
Yeah, I mean, I know the frequency that I was using for when I got that voice, but it almost seemed like the frequency that I'm supposed to use was after I slowed it down. Well, once I cleaned it up, it changed the frequency for the audio. So when you hear the difference between the file where you can barely hear the voice to the cleaned up file, it's totally different. Here, I could play it for you guys. Do you guys want to hear that again? For those of you that didn't hear it, just let me know in the comments.
Michelle, thank you. We'll get your email. All right, Michelle.
Okay, hold on one second. Oh, Josh missed it too because I lost a 2 terabyte drive. I accidentally formatted it.
Wait, what? Which drive?
It was drive that I had a bunch of evidence on from years ago.
Oh, it's your old stuff. Oh, okay. Oh my god. I thought it was our project.
No.
Oh my god, I hope that's backed up. Oh, okay.
That
All right.
that,
Oh, your old stuff.
that I do have backed up. My new stuff I have backed up. I have it replicated on 2 different drives.
Yes, very good.
Um,
But I am sorry that.
So I think it's even triplicated. It's kind of funny. All right, so let me play the old voice first. Let me do something here first. Hold on a second.
At first, I thought you were joking, but I am sorry it's your old data. I know you're really good about backing up, but I'm just so glad it wasn't anything recently.
I'm usually really good, and I was formatting using um the device the disk utility manager under the Mac OS, and
Right.
for some reason it changed drives on me, and I didn't realize it did that till after I said initialize. Um, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's the wrong one."
And that's it.
Too late.
Yeah. Once Mac locks that down, that's it. Oh, I'm very sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna play. Um, that's what I think I might have lost, Christina. Um, I gotta see. I got to go through all of my.
Oh, of course that's the one you lost. Sure.
I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know what was lost yet.
Just coincidentally, that was oh, no, I lost the video of the dancing woman.
No, I got to see.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So I'm gonna play this clip really quick.
Are there 2 other emails that I'm missing from the beginning of the show? If there are, I
Whose do you have?
Carl, I
Uh,
have Sylvia's.
uh-huh.
Michelle sent hers through Messenger, that's 3, and I'll take anyone's email that wanted to give it out for the experiment you're running.
I think it was. Oh, I think Amy. I think was it Amy? Amy, was that you that asked also for it? I think it might have been Amy.
Rob, we're almost an hour in with no sessions, so I'm gonna throw that jab right back at you.
It's all right. Oh, Christina,
Christina.
and she has her email there. Maybe it wasn't you, Amy. Oh, maybe I don't know. Throw Amy's in there too if she has it.
Carl. All right, Carl. We'll go a few rounds if you want. Yeah, I was late. I have to own that.
All right, so I'm gonna
Got it.
oh, Jana said too.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw Jana's.
I'm getting it down. Amy, thank you. That's cool.
All right, so let me play this audio clip. So here's the this is the original clip first. Make sure the volume's up, and let me make sure
Okay, and Corey too. Thank you, everyone.
that's up. Okay. All right. So everything's good. So let me go ahead and try this out. Here you go. Go. So did you guys hear that?
Faintly, compared to when you cleaned it up.
I know there's a delay, so just wanted to see if anybody heard it. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to play the cleaned up one. And this is what you'll hear. So in the cleaned up one, actually, when I ran it through a bunch of filters, the music's going to sound totally different. And that's because when I ran through the filters, it changed the tones and everything. So here you go. Let me rewind that and start.
Vibration. Boy, it's not right yet.
All right. Did you guys hear it? I'll play it one more time.
vibration. Boy, it's not right yet.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I heard.
And I know that part of the filtration process is we've talked about spectral filters and how sometimes the frequency will transpose depending on the harmonics in the signal. Depending on, you can transpose frequency by octave so that it's still the same note or frequency, but at the same time it's been transposed an octave or so. So I know those spectral filters are pretty interesting, and I know there's some other things going on there, but you really brought that voice forward. I mean, that's what we're working on. I know there's different software out there, like we've talked about Crisp and some other things that are really good for loud, intense signals. But in terms of bringing those quiet voices forward, I mean, that's really part of the process. Very cool. I'm glad you cleaned that up and brought that voice forward.
Yeah. So yes, Raina, that is the same file from Wednesday, but some people from this show didn't hear that yet. So I try to share, like when you listen on Wednesday show, you always get to hear what's going on first because this happened on Monday, right? Yeah. And I sent it to you Monday and then I cleaned it up on Tuesday. Yeah.
I thought it was Wednesday because I'm live with you. So I'm like, wait,
Maybe, I don't
today's Saturday. So it's not Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday when I sent Josh the file. And then,
right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. And then I cleaned it up on Wednesday morning. And then I played it on Wednesday during the show. So yeah, and that's in me capturing that's with no radio at all. So I have a couple of different setups. So one of them I have a modified box. Josh has one also.
It's literally right. Yeah, I was working on it. It's still got the cable connected to. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So if you show the front, Josh, it'll look. It's the same box. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can't see it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got the better camera than I do.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Right. Anyway.
So that's basically what we're working on. And so there's different types of, so I have like a couple of different setups. So I'll play an audio file, in the background, just really loud, and see if anything happens. So I heard whispering. So I usually just play it really loud, hit record just in case I do capture something. Then eventually I'll go back and then I'll just listen to it again later. But this time I kind of heard it. So I time stamped it, kind of typed it in to where, and then I went back and I started listening because you can't see it in the WAV file because it was so faint. You can't really see it in the WAV file. Because you'll just see like the frequency waves and you don't see it. So I played it back and where I heard it, and then so I let it play for a little bit, and so I just copied that piece, threw it in a file, sent it to Josh, and I was all excited. And then started thinking about it, and I said, there's got to be a way I can try to bring out the sound a little bit. So that's when I ran it through a bunch of filters and it just cleaned it up. And then that's what the file sounded like after. That's why the audio file sounded a little weird, or the music sounded weird, but the voice was enhanced. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
And that, that same procedure, Rob, is what we're trying to do with the voices that are embedded in the white noise.
Right.
A lot of these noise canceling or the adaptive noise suppression software that's being used will really help the loud, intense sounds. But a lot of the times they'll bury the quiet voices, and we've all heard those voices embedded within the white noise.
Yeah.
And that was a process that could be used essentially is, trying to take a derivative of that sound, if you will, and trying to find the vocal frequencies and kind of cut and work around that and pull those out. And
Yeah.
that's an excellent, what you just did there was an excellent example of doing that.
Right. So Julie, now, okay, I promise we'll get back. We'll get to,
Oh, Paranormal's got some, yeah.
so basically the Carl sent me a program. God, now I'm forgetting the name.
Spectrogram?
Yeah, spectrogram.
Perlin noise?
Yeah, the Perlin noise.
Right.
So anyway, there's a program that will, it'll draw out like, pictures. Yeah, it is spectrogram. It'll draw out pictures, to the audio. So it'll display pictures according to the audio. It's kind of weird. Just trying to break it down in simple terms. And so sometimes you'll see faces. And I have that program that Carl sent me. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, I didn't know which one you were talking about because they run. I mean, there's also Faces and Sound, or Keith's program. He uses a sonic visualizer, which is awesome. I mean, I've seen so many visuals and faces in there. Same with the Perlin noise.
Right.
Yeah, I love their idea to combine the visuals with the audio is just amazing, and it's a complete experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where. I mean, I'm not using any type of AI. I'm not using anything. It's just like I said, it's just frequencies playing through. But like I said, I did run it through some software to clean it up. So I don't know if it changed the tone of the voice. I don't know what it did. And
I get accents all the time, especially when I scan the AM band in random. I get voices with accents, all different types of accents all the time. It's very common.
and the funny thing is, like when I use the Echovox, when I used to use the Echovox a lot, I used to get more English voices than, or British accents more than, well, I would get Spanish, I would get British
Right.
accents. I would get more voices more with accents than not. That's really strange
Through Echovox.
through Echovox.
Through Echovox. Interesting. Yeah, I've had that experience the most on the AM band. The TRF radios, the TRF AM radios really, you can really hear distinctive tone and color in someone's voice and the different accents that are coming through. It's really interesting. Oh, the Franks boxes too. Actually, some of the Franks boxes will do that. You'll get a lot of accents. People have reported many different accents coming through.
Yeah. No, it's always yeah, it's always different. Yeah, that's what other people say too, though. Like
Oh,
with
right.
um so I don't know. It's strange on, how the voices come through.
Yeah, and I think Rob, the more we dig into our projects, it's still there's still that piece of the puzzle that's unknown. No matter how much we know about our science and what we think our projects can do or contribute, sometimes the things we plan on don't do anything. And then a side effect or an accident of something produces some kind of miraculous result. You know what I mean? It's still, no matter how much you know in physics and science, there's just that missing, you know what I'm talking about, that puzzle piece we all know we're searching for, where it's like, well, how exactly are they using this? We have some theories and ideas, but what are they doing to manipulate this? How does this help or not help? Or is it all up to us? I mean, I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. The more we dig, the more we research, the more we build, the more questions we have.
Oh, so no, exactly.
Good point, Eb. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
and that's what I always say. What we're hearing
Right.
is subjective. And that's the problem with ITC using radio. Because the more and more skeptics I talk to, and the more and more people that I talk to about ITC, a lot of people aren't there's a lot of people that do ITC. I mean, there's a lot more people here in the US than I thought that there were. People that I had no idea. I mean, people are coming out of the woodwork. Once I said I'm not building boxes anymore, I started getting bombarded with emails. It's weird. And they were like, "Rob, I'm sad to say that you are sad to see that you're not building boxes anymore." Um, and then they would say some things to me and just, trying to talk me out of it. And they're just saying because, there's so much within the ITC community that there's so many things that are happening that it's just there's a lot of things that are taking steps backwards opposed to moving forward. Um, so that's kind of why this last person I talked to was kind of giving me some reasons on why I should continue building boxes. So I had a long talk with them a couple of times today. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you for being so open and honest. And he's a retired um person. But I didn't realize how much he knew about ITC, about different boxes, about he was telling me things about certain boxes that I didn't even know. I'm like, wait, what? And then I had to think back and I actually started looking back. That's why I was so tired because I've been looking at a bunch of things so he was bringing me back into certain people's boxes. And yeah, this person's box had a mute button on it. So when you ask a question, you can mute it.
Oh, the AGBX3, Andre's black box.
There you go. And
I
then
know my ghost boxes.
And then he said, well, then this box did this and this box did that. And I was like, holy crap, you know a ton about boxes. So, yeah. And then he was just, telling me a lot. And I was like, wow, you do know a lot. But, you know, then he said, there's just certain people building boxes still, but he just said you need to stay in it.
Right. Right. No, you know what? I never wanted you to leave. I knew your retirement would be, like just a matter of a few days and a few hours before I got to you or someone got to you, to keep building. And we have so much more to build, Rob. The ideas are just getting started. And you're like the radio side of it. So if you don't build your circuit or build different circuits, what am I going to do with my portion? It's just a paperweight.
Right.
So without your half of it, my stuff just kind of, it looks nice, but it really needs your portion of it.
So, yeah. So basically, after I talked to him, I said, you know what? I need to build because he wants one of my boxes also. So I said, okay, so that's box number 4 right there. And other people have reached out to me earlier this week. So I had to reach back out and said, you know what? I'll build your guys' boxes. So we'll move forward with that.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. I don't what was your
I think they might be referring to what Paranormal is, or they're trying to figure out. I think that's what the question was.
yeah,
Paranormal is Keith Clark and some of his colleagues' website or ongoing project where they combine visuals and sound. They work on ITC. They just had a doctor on that's working with different types of machine learning and AI and stuff. So they're they're very advanced. They're very good. We run parallel in the sense that we're really focused on education and really bringing awareness to people. So check it out. It's on YouTube. You can check out the website.
yeah, it's a lot of things that we're doing kind of seems like in parallel with them, but I don't know, it's different but kind of like the same.
They have a lot of very bright team members, doctors, scientists. They're
Right.
If anyone I can think of in ITC right now at this moment in the public eye, they're really pushing boundaries. You need to know who they are.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of things with AI also. So, and it seems like that's where we kind of discussed this in the past, that would probably be the next step of in ITC would be mach- machine machine learning and
It's al-
AI.
it's already here.
Well, no, I mean
Yeah.
it is, but I think a lot of people are going to step away from ghost boxes and start doing that. There'll be a lot more people writing programs with machine learning and AI. People are working with CRISP, people are working with machine learning, programming. Yeah, so that's basically where we're moving to. So I don't know. Anyway,
Let's fire it up.
yeah, we're gonna fire it up.
What? I laugh in disbelief, Carl, not at you. I laugh in disbelief. Wow.
So you know what was funny? So I was watching yesterday, I think, or last night, whenever it was.
Mhm.
And I was like, who are all these women on there? And I didn't watch long enough to figure out who they were, but thanks for the explanation. Now I know.
In the Perlin noise or the sonic visualizer?
They were in the chat. People were talking in the chat.
Oh,
So I don't know. No idea. All right, so I guess we're gonna do this.
I thought when I was laughing out of disbelief, I thought Carl meant he saw witches in the sonic visualizer or Perlin noise, like visuals of witches coming out. You know what I mean? Like I was like, whoa, you actually saw. Never mind.
No, I think it was witches there
In the chat, actually. Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
he said no. He says he did.
he did what?
That's why I laughed in disbelief. So he actually saw figures, witches or females, women in the sonic visualizer or the Perlin noise.
Is that what you meant by that?
No, that's just incredible that you saw like plural, not a witch, but witches in those visuals. I mean, that's incredible. Wow. Yeah, he says
Okay.
he's saying in the Perlin noise. Wow.
We
That's
can run
incredible.
the Perlin also.
Wow.
No. The hell was that?
What?
That was weird.
Everything okay?
No, I just saw like we were talking about the witches and stuff, and then I just saw like a mist right in front of me. And then went in front of the mic and then it was gone. And so I thought it was like a reflection, but no. Huh. Oh, all right. All right, let's
Already
get
starting.
going. It's kind of getting warm in here.
Yeah, see, all the boxes are at your place, so everything's nice and peaceful here. That's the one benefit I do have. It's nice and quiet here.
I know, right? It's so quiet. All right, we're gonna get started.
Okay.
So we'll do a reverse session. Let me go ahead and start it up. Is anybody here that has any messages for us tonight? Who just said I'm here? Stan, are you here with us tonight? Who just said Perlin? Who said I'm here again? Who's asking for help? Can any of the witches that were on Paranormal identify themselves? Who just said yeah? Who said me? Who said hi, Rob? Who just touched my hand? Ed? Who's in here with me? Somebody touched my hand and then my arm. Philip, are you here with us? Who said German? Who just said Carl? Who's here to speak with Carl? Donna wants to know if there's any messages from her big brother David. Who just said Nate? Who's the little girl that just screamed for help? Who's the little girl that's trying to come through? Who said inner circle? Are you talking about this circle? Who wants us to get off of here? Who just said me? Who's the love me for? Or love you? The hell? Why did it just go silent?
Did you turn off the radio?
Nope. Who just turned off the radio? Hello?
Check your.
No, everything's good.
Any of your gear go down?
No.
There's no power outage.
Nope. That's weird. Who just turned off the radio? Did somebody in the room turn it off? Yeah, it was funny because now it just went back on. That was weird. All right, who just turned off the radio? Ed? Ed, why did you turn off the radio? Who turned off the radio? Ed? Ed, why did you turn off the radio? Who said kill you? Devil. All right, I'm going to end the session. All right, I just ended it.
When that came back on, that felt different.
Yeah, it felt really different.
You had no, because I know you're running a reverse circuit, so you there were no malfunctions, nothing powered off.
Nope. That's what I was looking at. No, everything's still on. That was weird.
I mean, that does happen. We've talked, any one number of our colleagues who've been in this for a period of time, they've had radios turn off and on. I mean, that isn't uncommon.
Yeah,
but that's never happened on the Saturday show.
It's never happened.
Wow.
Yeah, it started becoming negative. That's why I ended it.
It felt, as soon as it came back in, I started getting goosebumps, and I felt it from here. Something, the voices changed, and it definitely, the whole mood instantly switched.
Yeah. Yeah, the funny thing is, so Josh and I were talking. What were we talking about, Josh? We were talking about something, and then we kept on our phone kept on hanging up, and then I tried to call you back, and
it's when you first
connect.
Yeah, when your first project stepping outside of Ghost Boxes was Project Dead Air.
Right.
And that's when you called me, the very first call, and you were so excited. I hadn't heard you that excited in probably ever. And literally, and it doesn't happen to me ever. And we probably had to call each other back, like 7 or 8 times?
Yeah.
Over a 25-minute call. I mean, just random. And every time you'd get to make a point, this is what's going on. This is how I did it. This is how it like, just hang up.
Well, what I was hearing was just like, it just sounded like, kind of like a high pitched ringing sound, just like, it was really annoying. I mean, it hurt my ears, and I just had to literally hang up. And then I would ask them another question. The same thing would happen again. I would have to hang up. Like they didn't want us to talk about it.
I didn't hear any ringing, but we were disconnected.
Yeah.
Involuntarily.
It was weird. Yeah, just before, a little bit before that, my hand was touched. So I have my hand on the mouse, right? So I can click on comments.
Right.
So yeah, something touched the top of my hand, like kind of brushed it to where it tickled my hairs on my hand. And that's why I pulled my hand away and I shook it off, and I said, "Who touched my hand?" And then the same thing on my upper arm right here, just started, something rubbed against it, like rub. So my hairs were like tickled. That's why I said, "Who just touched my arm?" Yeah, so that was weird. And then shortly before that, I saw that little mist, and you guys said you heard something on the mic. So that was weird.
Yeah, Melody, it's very strange because Rob and I are pursuing this nobly, positively, optimistically. We're very positive people. We're doing this, out of love and communication. We're not looking for anything negative or evil, if you will. So to have that call hang up so many times when we were talking about something positive we thought was constructive, it was very strange. But we've never had any other instances besides that, Rob. Actually, since that point, we've never had issues with our phone calls. And we've talked about all sorts of projects. But yeah, just that one instance was very strange. It was very weird.
Yeah, and that little girl's voice was really high pitched.
Yeah, I think when the radio cut out, Rob, and they, well, we always say they came back in, there was definitely an ulterior motive there.
Right.
It felt like it was hijacked by whoever, in the sense that there was just more intensity in that when it came back. There was more of a purpose. It didn't feel the same.
No, Ed's still been coming around a lot.
Yeah. Right, Kanga, redirected. Right. Yeah. Right. And, sometimes I feel like when I'm working with ITC, and we know it takes a lot of energy to communicate, if you want to say, the higher realms or entities that require more energy and focus and concentration. And when you're exhausted of that, you kind of fall back down maybe a few realms, or you fall, when you lose energy, you kind of reconnect with, I don't want to say lower communication, but maybe entities, beings, spirits that are maybe not vibrating at a higher frequency. And then it kind of gets redirected to that communication. And that's when you kind of get, maybe things that don't feel as positive or vibrate as well.
Yeah. That was weird.
Thank you, Amy, so much for checking in and joining with us. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you, Amy.
Yeah, again, just the theory. I don't know how it works, but it just feels like that sometimes. And that was strange.
And the funny thing is, Carl is Philip has been coming through a lot too. So that's kind of funny how you brought that up. And somebody else said it sounds like Philip and Ed are like fighting.
Yeah. Thank you, Amy. I hope you join us again. Thank you.
Huh, that's weird. Maybe that's who turned it off. The male's the one that turned it off because he didn't want the little girl to come through. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But oh my gosh. It does feel heavy in here, and so I have a really sharp pain in my chest. Yeah, it just feels weird in here.
Yeah, I'm kind of brainstorming in my head right now what exactly just happened.
And that doesn't happen. I mean, it just does not happen.
In all the years I've been working with radio-based ITC, I would say I could count maybe on one hand how many times the radio's gone on or off. And I'm talking thousands of hours. I mean, what feels like thousands of hours, but I'm trying to think. I've had some instances where reception in radio has been cut out, but it's only been, a handful of times, like really powerful moments, especially when you ask a question, bam, it gets cut off. One time I asked the wrong question, bam, it got cut off. But I can usually remember those instances. This is now on that list. It's probably like number 5 or number 6.
No, it doesn't buffer. That's the thing, because it's doing a live scan, so there's no buffering.
Yeah, no buffering. It's an actual reverse circuit. And that circuit works in real time. There is a latency, obviously, because it has to process things in reverse, but it's that the circuit doesn't have any type of buffering, so to speak. That's done on the analog domain, isn't it, Rob?
Yep.
Yeah. So the reverse is running in the analog domain. So there's definitely no buffering. Yeah, Deb, I don't know. I mean, this doesn't make for stimulating live streaming, but I'm being quiet because I'm just really just brainstorming with everyone, trying to think about what just happened.
So Raina's going to throw some dung at Vitrina now.
Oh yeah, it's a dung fight tonight because a lot of us were late, so we're all throwing it at each other.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thanks for asking, Carl. It just gets weird.
I think Corey asked that. Thank you, Corey. Right, Melody. And I used to, when my work hours were different, I would listen at work and kind of in the background, but I never noticed anything like this happening. I mean, amazing sessions. Don't get me wrong. I mean, just absolutely incredible sessions, but at the same time, nothing like that. And then to have the energy change so much after it came back. And what was very strange, Rob, is I know your setup, it almost to me sounded like it faded back in.
That's weird.
It didn't sound to me like it just started up like, on or off.
Right.
It sounded like it almost faded back in, which I don't know how you would do that with the way you're set up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
right, Carl. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what makes you realize how much is out of our control. I mean, I thought about how hard we're working on our projects, Rob, and how bad we want them to work, and then this is just a reminder. It's out of our control. If this may not work, if they don't want to use it or they don't like it, it's just out of our control. We can try. Right. All good points.
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's been times when I had so many issues. In my setup, it's nothing changes, right? So it's I go through a routine on turning everything on, turning everything off. Um, so with my audio, my my audio rack, I have to turn it on at least a half hour before the show starts. So the tubes warm up. Uh and then then I have to do some other audio test. Usually but usually sometimes I'll do it like on the fly. So that's why sometimes, I might not have, a certain setting in the software turned on or something. Or I might just have it because it defaults back to, a certain um audio file, like the default. So I have to go in and say, no, I not from the default. I need it to use like whatever, my interface that I'm using. Um, anyway, I'm just getting a little
Well,
technical, but anyway, I'm just saying,
that's a good.
there's certain things that I have to go through through. There's like a checklist that I have to go through, and sometimes I'm trying to hurry and I miss one of the things. But with that being said, everything is tested prior to doing everything. So that's why it's just not normal for something like this to happen.
With all that being said, Rob, just to add to that, and this is why it's important to explain your setup. Had you had faded that in, you would have had to have reached over and manually turned the knob, and that fade in wasn't it, it wasn't a programmed fade in sound where it's equal. It has equal intensity coming in at an equal slope. It faded in unevenly. Like it started quiet and then it rushed in. You know what I'm saying? That's the sound of someone doing it by hand, not by programming a fade like in Pro Tools or Logic. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounded like, if anything, if you want to debunk this, they faded it in at
Right.
their own free will rather than it having a programmed slope where it fades in at equal intensity over an equal amount of time. That's
Well,
what I was thinking about. I'm like, wow, that really sounded like it was manually faded in, like on your tube preamp. You turned it up.
yeah. No, I mean, I didn't do anything. Um, that's why I just sat here and waited and waited and waited to see if what was going to happen. I mean, eventually I was going to have to reach over, power cycle some things, and then start up again. But it eventually just started up again, which was weird.
I thought it was a power failure, but then I noticed the lights were, and I was like, wait, the
No,
lights are on.
yeah, everything's on.
Wow.
And my mic would have turned off too. You wouldn't have heard me talking if my audio
Excellent
rack
point.
shut out.
Excellent point. Actually, I'll take this a step further. I think the stream would have cut out. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Everything else would have cut out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That kind of caught me off guard.
No, that's fine. Kanga. No, I get it. Yeah, no, basically, yeah, they did take control for a second of the session. So we'll see if we'll be able to oh, sorry, I left it up for too long.
Yeah, the way that faded in was, I mean, in my position, that's a key piece of evidence, because that fade in it didn't sound quantized like a robot or AI did it. It sounded like a human or an imperfect hand did it. And that's what was so interesting.
No, Christine, I still have the REM pod. It's it's actually sitting here on the shelf. I shelved it for a little bit just because I was trying some other things. But no, I still have it.
Wow. What mode should we test next? I'm actually very curious now what'll happen next.
Uh,
Or if anything.
yeah, no, I mean, I didn't touch anything. I immediately started to panic. So that was going to be my attention. Just reach over,
Right.
power cycle everything, and then get it started again. But I wanted to give it some time to see if it was going to come back on. And eventually it did. So yeah, I wanted to see what would happen. Um, we're doing a live stream, so I'm like, should I just power cycle everything real quick? But no, I mean, that's the reason why I didn't, was because I wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah, and remember, these things have been reported with ghost box builders and ITC researchers. Equipment has been powered off and powered on before, since the earliest days of researching ITC. So it has been documented. This is an occurrence that happens. But a first for the Saturday show.
Yeah, no, right now I do have the old RAM pod. It's right here.
Yeah, I know where Rob has to put his hand, what he has to turn to fade in or fade out sound or anything like that. And his tube amp is, I mean, you'd have to see him completely lean over out of screen to reach his outboard gear. Responses only, Rob. They want to overclock the 555.
Did I move? What do you mean, did I move?
Oh, meaning, did you move? In other words, when the radio cut out or faded back in,
Mm-mm.
like, did you, reach? Because I was trying to explain your
I would literally have to.
right.
I would actually have to stand up
I
because
mean, yeah, it would be like we're doing a session. It'd be like, oh, the radio cut out. What? Oh, look at that, guys! Look at the radio cut out. Oh,
no, it's literally.
look, it turned back on. What happened? It would be that obvious.
I would literally have to stand up and power off something, because it's behind everything, so I can't even read.
Right. Wow. I'm glad I joined, and I just wasn't in the chats. I'd been really upset had I had missed my appearance on the Saturday show. I'm so glad I witnessed that with everyone.
Yeah, no,
Incredible.
everything's
Incredible.
always running, so I just have to make just a quick switch, um, on how it's being routed, and that's it.
Julie's got weird things happening on her phone. Yeah, let's
What do you guys want to do?
direct response mode.
Yes, I will eventually incorporate it back onto the show. Just right now, I'm trying some other stuff. So,
Good point, Kanga.
um, and plus, I don't have my second camera right now.
There's 21 people watching.
There's
I don't see a counter. Thank you so much for watching and staying up with us, or depending on where you are, it's the morning time for you, afternoon. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that
thanks
is
everybody for
Oh
watching.
my gosh, that's so cool. Thank you.
No, there's 30 people watching.
30 people?
Yeah, well, 21 on.
Ooh.
there's
Now I'm nervous.
There's 21 on YouTube.
Oh wow, now I'm nervous. I thought it was 20. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do 20. It's like a small classroom, intimate setting, and now 30. It's like, woo.
No, sometimes it gets up to like 60.
Wow.
Depends on, but it depends on where people are watching from.
I don't think we're good enough for 60, Rob.
All right.
Thanks, Melody.
Thank you, Melanie.
Oh no, I know, Kanga. We're all friends here. We're all friends. Oh, Donna, thank you for joining us, UK. 9:16 a.m. Yeah, remember, Rob, we're someone's morning show.
Yeah, I know.
They're like stumbling out of bed, coffee. They're like, what are these two morons talking about? The radio's turning off. What?
That's so funny. I was going to talk crap about myself, but I won't.
I can do it for you.
Yeah, I was giving everybody crap today. Okay, so God, my voice.
You okay?
Yep. This is my second energy drink within the last 2 hours.
Oh, be careful. I don't want your heart to pop.
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a dung thrower this morning. I was throwing dung at everybody. All right, so you guys want responses only?
I know, Dev. I'm just playing.
I don't have any water right now.
I have water. This is water, Rob. This isn't alcohol. This is water.
I need some alcohol.
No, water only. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. So, are you setting up for?
Yeah, I guess I'll set up for that.
Yeah, Christina's right. You could have had chest pain from too much caffeine.
I guess so.
Don't go dying on us.
No.
I got to do the Saturday show by myself. Then we got to contact you on the other side. It's too much hassle, Rob. So
no, these have 0 sugar. I drink the 0 sugar ones.
Still caffeine.
That's all I want is caffeine. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started on another one.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, if you cross over, Rob, if I try to do the Saturday show, you'd never let me get the equipment fired up. Of course, that's exactly what would happen.
I should play some background crazy music.
Yeah, water,
right.
coffee. It's good stuff. Yeah, I like coffee too. Definitely a coffee person. Yeah, it's my drug of choice too.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll get started. I'm just hot. It's hot in here. Should have just opened up the door.
Buys thousands of dollars of outboard gear, but doesn't buy an air conditioner, a portable air conditioning unit, or any way to keep them cool.
It was so damn hot today too. Oh my God. It was like cooling down. And then I was like, damn, it's hot out here. All right. So I'm going to get started. Yeah, we're coming up. So in October, next month, it'll be a year since we've been on.
Well, your Saturday show. Yeah, our podcast is a year in February. I'm already planning a celebration.
It's crazy.
February 22nd. No, 24th. Figure it out.
Writing us in music. Okay, let me see. What do we want to hear?
Oh, we're playing music right now?
Well, I'm going to play some background music along with the session.
Oh, you mean like frequency?
Well, I'll play something. What do you guys want to hear? Should I do water?
Yeah, water. Water's really good at providing blue and violet noise. That could help.
Let's do. Sure, I have the right one. Can you hear that? Can you hear it?
Mhm.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get started.
Incredible. Sent his against his
Back and
I don't know if that's
But
too
if I'm-
loud.
Eventually.
Maybe the water's too loud.
Offered it.
every year.
The sentencing. It's your temple.
Yeah, I offered the music or the
memory
water.
Flash. Surprise.
It's crazy for
It's
Wave.
crazy. It's crazy in waves.
has not.
Quiet.
The issue in lifting the
The latter.
He stepped.
Good.
The bot
Was a.
My
on the deck. Him, the man.
you were going.
Mrs. DeWitt.
Oh, and shoulder. Not real.
Being shot.
Women.
Women. Who was the woman that came through last
measure.
week?
And so they are.
Sure about. For if you. He noted.
I'm waiting for.
I want. Thank you.
Who just said
Place.
thank you?
Date. We
Bird could shoot right now. If
Who's trying to show themselves over my shoulder?
You have not.
The ground.
Not his word.
thing.
The astonished.
Brooke did.
Heirs.
You must.
4th of July.
Or
President.
He only did it to.
Preacher had.
We are.
Led do.
What did the preacher have?
I am.
Through and ice.
Your arm. Your body is.
The
You're
bodies?
Away from.
Here is.
Is this the same female that was coming through last
First
week?
fruit. Glade where.
Notice how.
cheese.
Or hill.
Got caught.
Baseball.
She not.
All right, we're going to end this session.
Let the te-
I got this.
You got this?
the fi-
Rude.
Rude? Who's being rude?
Behind him.
Behind me?
Stand.
Who just said Stan?
through their pic.
Outside.
Outside?
He began.
Who controls what you're allowed to say?
I'm using a
In order that the red blue
Bayer's clip.
are safe.
where you oh,
And
crashed in July.
being all
Old.
What the hell is that?
that spirit.
Preventing the
A spirit?
Yes, the de-
Who's trying to communicate with us through the music?
will be here. Clinging.
You can hear?
At the last.
Do you guys hear that?
How the mind.
Anything.
They added another frequency, Rob. Did you hear that? And then it said it's spirit.
Whole
Yeah.
front.
But I
All right, we got to end this really quick.
would only
Hold on. I'm going to pause this. All right. So,
There's a lot to unpack with this session. A lot happened.
holy shit. That kind of, I mean, I kind of like, and this happens when I try to work with frequency. I jump a lot. I get very jumpy. And I get so like excited when I start hearing stuff. Yeah, that was, this is live. Um,
There's just a lot to talk about. Stan came through. Whoever said his name, I think it was a female that said Stan.
yeah.
That was incredibly clear. I heard additional frequencies that I know you aren't producing that came in.
Yeah.
And when you asked who that was, they said spirit, because it literally was a harmonic frequency that you did not create or duplicate.
No, and the music started and it changed.
Right.
The frequency, like you said, totally changed.
The Rob was playing frequencies.
Yeah, I was playing frequencies. I
But-
changed because I guess the wave music was sounding like static to you guys. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try something different. I didn't say anything. I just threw it on there. Just to see what impact it would have. And that was huge.
Well, this is recorded. I'm going to go back and listen to. There was a frequency that came in that wasn't from you,
Right.
that I didn't recognize immediately. That's what my ears are trained to do, literally. And then you said, what was that? Because you noticed it immediately too. And I looked at you on the screen. I was like, that's not any of the frequencies you're working with. And then
No.
you said, who was that? And they said spirit.
Yeah. No,
My mind is racing right now. I'm sorry. I'm not saying much.
that was straight frequency. That was no radio. There's no radio coming through, as you heard. It's just responses. And when I do responses only mode, there is no radio frequencies coming through.
There is a margin of error though with the circuit. It could potentially, I mean, if you're running radio with that, I mean, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, the 555 could.
In theory, yes.
In theory, that's what I mean to say is in theory. It's not impossible, but as much as we're hearing, no, it's not coming from the radio. Not the way it's set up.
Yeah, because you would hear music coming through also. But we're not hearing music.
I also thought I heard an EVP of a little girl in earlier in the session. I thought I heard a little girl's voice that sounded like it was outside of that track. Almost like it was being bussed in or mixed in from another track, Rob, like a side chain. She sounded like she was off in the distance, but I'd have to listen back. Kanga had some good points too.
I didn't see what he said.
About if you're getting closer with your experimentation, they're trying to throw you off or distract you, which is very common when you first enter ITC and you start first scanning radios. There is this kind of unspoken test that kind of puts you through your paces. And then once you've shown perseverance and dedication, you kind of overcome that. And then you're kind of in the clear. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but a lot of people have described that. Yeah, Mr. Poe is a great question. I want to go back and listen to that. It was definitely a harmonic. And that's what's interesting is when Rob and I have been doing research, we found that there are a lot of clues in harmonic distortion, intermodulation distortion, octaves, that there's a lot of communication and hidden potential or energy within harmonic frequency. And that sounded like it came in as a harmonic of the frequencies Rob was playing. And I immediately identified it. It sounded like a higher octave. Hey, Petey. Oh, Petey, are you just joining us? Oh, boy. Wow. Oh, ITC is instrumental trans communication. Instrumental trans communication. And that essentially means we are using an instrument of whatever nature, whatever type of instrument, as a medium to engage in, participate in, or witness trans communication, which is essentially unknown communication with other dimensions or entities. Carl hit me with the left and the right.
Yeah, no, I mean, ever since I've started experimenting with frequency, I used to do it a lot before. I used to do it a few months ago, before I started doing it more and more on a regular basis.
Hey, Joy.
But yeah, anytime that I implement it, as you guys see, it does help during sessions. And that's one of the homework assignments that I'm going to give you guys when we get down to this. I'm going to send you an audio file that I want you guys to play when you're doing this experiment. I just got to put together the audio file. I'll probably just loop it for I might just send it to you. It's going to be a small file. You'll just have to play it on the device and just have it loop, or you can play it on the computer and just make sure that the software you're using has a loop feature. So just play the file over and over, and then do a session.
You know,
what's that?
I'm sorry. I always interrupt you. I get excited. I was going to say, if we wanted to as well, we could take time on the Wednesday show and I could do a 5-minute coaching session on maybe if we decide on a program to use, like how to load it, how to loop it, if we wanted to show everyone at one time. I'm just offering, I don't know if that's something.
So yeah, if you guys are going to use a computer and you have a PC that with computer speakers, I would suggest downloading Winamp, because Winamp is small and it works great. Or if you're on a Mac, you can You can
Quick,
still use Winamp, or you can just use like QuickTime,
right?
or yeah, QuickTime will probably be best. Um, anyway,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, sorry. There I go again. I'm sorry. I was going to let you finish. I don't know what to do.
what did Carl say?
Carl was talking about planet frequencies. Essentially, it's what it comes down to, and we keep saying this, is it comes down to frequency. And sometimes those frequencies are mixed in a certain concoction or mixed together in a certain way. I mean, there's an infinite combination of frequencies, but that's
Yeah.
essentially what's going on. Yeah, there's a lot. Listen, every session I do and I hear something live, I always go back and listen to it and I go, wow, I only heard 5 to 10% of that powerful communication live. When you review something, you go, oh my gosh, did you hear this? We missed this. We missed this. So I can't wait to listen back to this to tonight. Well, we're not done, right, Rob? I mean,
No, we're not done.
okay.
No, Carl, I mean, I can give you guys several banks to try. I mean, they're just really small clips. If you play one clip, you can just, repeat it. And this is something that we're talking about. They were like, well, it's only a small little clip. Okay, but if you repeat that loop, say you get the whole chorus line, right? Whether it's like 12 chords or whatever, however long it is, it's basically maxed out, right? Even with an audio track, a music track, there's certain chords that are played and they're just repeated. So they go into the studio, they'll lay down the tracks, and then the engineers will put together that song. Now, a band isn't the only one they're playing it live. They'll play those same chords over and over.
Or they'll play tracks right off of Pro Tools.
Or they'll play tracks right off of, yeah, exactly.
You didn't hear that from me.
Even live, they'll play, they'll have they'll have the tracks playing during the whole show. So they'll start it up, especially a lot of electronic bands, they'll do that. They'll hit the track, they'll have a track recorder, and they'll just hit play. And they'll
Hit space bar.
yeah. And then it'll start the show.
Right.
And they just play to the tracks. Anyway, so you just basically get that, I don't know, it's probably a couple of minutes, but it still comes out, it's like a 20 megabyte file, something like that. And then you just hit play, and then it just repeats. So it plays, a certain, like, I don't know, 30, about 40 seconds or so, and then it'll just repeat.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to play that whole, go in the studio and let's say because there's some tracks I have that are like 9 hours long. What, you're going to play that
Right.
whole track for 9 hours? No.
Right.
In the studio? No.
And then you consider that we're working in 24-bit minimum, sometimes 32-bit float for DSP, 192 kilohertz. I mean, those files are going to be so large. It's almost impossible to stream something like that, or to even have a solid state drive large enough to stream that would be, just so incredibly costly, and it's just not feasible. So you have to work with tracks.
What are you guys saying I'm missing out.
Oh, Deb says there's sun flares in the past 36 hours. And you know what? That's a big part of research too, is understanding our universe and our environment, from the electrons in our atmosphere, in the ionosphere, mesosphere, to the sun, issues with gravity and light, looking at light frequency.
No, exactly, Carl. But see, people don't understand that. People are like, well, this is only a 10 megabyte file. How can that's not going to work? What do you mean it's not going to work?
Maybe we'll do that, Rob. We'll see. We'll think about it and see if it's possible for Wednesday. Maybe we can go over a quick tutorial or something to help get people started on what you're doing and how you're looping that file or that bank of frequency or frequencies. I don't know if it's necessary. It may not be necessary.
Yeah. So no, and with what you're saying, now we're going to get a little technical. like with what Deb is saying. Um, so this has been, and this is part of research. Um, Back in the day, um, when I first started doing investigating, it's a chore. It's nothing, you know, it's so boring because you have to, so like before an investigation started, um, there was a lot of things that I would map out. I used to have a program, and it was like a weather program. Um, and actually somebody wrote a paranormal tool, and once you launched it, it would give you the moon phase. It would give you the tide, the tides at that time. It would give you the temperature. It would give you the barometric measurements. It would give you the humidity. It would give you if there was any solar flares. It would. I mean, there was so much data that it would give you. um, so you would actually type in, you know, the day, what was happening at that location. You would plug in all that information, and when you hit save, it actually grabbed all of that other information. Um, and then you can also add to it as an investigation went on. You would just start typing in your notes on different events that happened, and it would update um all of those other um all of those other statistics. So you would have, okay, when the investigation started, this was happening in the environment, in the in on and on the planet and in the universe. So um you know, every time it did it, there was different, so you would check everything. um so then once you started doing more and more investigations, and you can actually tell, um you would just pull up documents and say, okay, what was the average on, you know, this time, or during this moon phase. And it would show you, nope, I had no activity on a full moon um for, you know, last in the last 4 years, whatever. I used that program for several years, and I was like, okay, in the last 4 years, I had um, zero activity during a full moon in the last 4 years. I'm just throwing 4 years out there. It was actually longer, but I'm 4 years. And then when was when did I have the most activity? And then it was like it would always come up like 2 days before the full moon, 2 days after a new moon. Um, so it would give you reports like that. So you can almost tell when you're going to have some activity, when you were not going to have any activity. You might have some, you know, mild activity, things like that, according to um, the moon phase.
Right.
Was probably the biggest one.
Rob, of all the things you and I have ever had in common, because you have a tremendous amount of investigative experience, I do not. I've worked solely in ITC, but I can tell you, even from looking back on my statistical records and my sessions, full moons have been uneventful for me. It almost seems like a period of recharging,
Mm.
of almost like it's a calm. It seems like, and I get very little communication through my devices or instrumental transcommunication during a full moon. I've noticed that, definitely.
Yeah. And it could be because, I mean, you think about it. When do everybody charge their crystals? It's always on a full moon. You know, so everybody has their rituals that happens, and maybe that's why it didn't happen during that time. Um, because it's a lull period.
Right. I don't know. That's just what's happened to me. I never could make any sense out of it, but I did notice that. Actually, Rob, to the point to where I wouldn't even attempt a session. You
No.
know, on full moon, it was just like a night off. You know, it's kind of strange in that way.
Yeah. I
For
mean,
me, at least, for me.
yeah, I would always schedule investigations after I found that once I had basically a baseline, I would look at the moon phase, say, well, on that Saturday, or because a lot of people want us to do an investigation on the weekends. Why? I don't know. Me personally, I would rather do it during the week. But anyway, so client would say, well, I'll be home on, Saturday night or Friday night at this time. And then I'll say, okay, let me take a look at my calendar. And I would always look at the moon phases for that time period and
Right.
say, oh no, there's a full moon. Can we do it the following week? Or I can do them
Right.
on these dates, and I'll give them a bunch of dates. And then they were like, okay, so that's how I'd schedule investigations.
Right. Yeah, and just in general, and again, this is just a theory. I don't know any more than any of us here. This is what has been proposed for a long time in ITC and the paranormal, is factors of our dimension and our environment do impact communication. And if, I'll just say they, whether it's spirit, whoever we're talking to, if it is based on frequency, and that is the carrier, or that is how this communication or this bridge is being connected, energy and frequency, then it would make sense that, the AM band at night working with the ionosphere and the mesosphere would have advantages in communication. When it's cloudy, you may not have as much communication. You look at the full moon and the impact of the force of gravity on our planet and how that changes, and that could impact based on how frequency moves through our dimension. Frequency is analog, and there are interrupters or buffers and or amplifiers in our natural environment. So we do have to consider that. So yes, all those things have to be considered. We still don't know exactly to what extent it impacts it, but we do know that there is a noticeable impact just looking at statistical records and modeling and patterns.
Yeah.
Right, PD. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, and us too. Right. We're a part of that environmental factor. Well, we play a much more important role, but at the same time, yes. That's right. If that's how it works.
Yeah, if that's how it works. But all right. So you guys want to do one more session? God, this night went by fast. It's 10 till 2.
My gosh. I still would have been coding by now. Watching the chat. Right, Deb. Right. Great question, Kanga. What type of session?
We'll do forward again. I mean, the response only. I'm going to play frequency again, though. I want to see what happens.
Perfect. And then maybe next Saturday we could try another experiment or something else with this, what we've been working on, or I don't know how you want to.
No, I wanted to do that. I just wasn't prepared. I know I planned on it, but yeah, I just wasn't prepared.
Oh, it's okay. No, there's no rush. We're not going anywhere. We'll be right here to nag you, Rob, to try new experiments.
Oh, it's all good, PD. All right. Let me start this up. Oh, I'm sorry. So on Wednesday,
we're 12 hours.
You know what?
12 hours behind.
Yes.
If we're 12 hours,
we're 8 hours. 8 hours behind. So it would be in the early morning for you.
oh, you're right. It is 8 hours. See, that's gonna be 4 in the morning for you, Melody.
Yeah, it'd be 4 in the morning for you.
Oh, could you imagine listening to us at 4 in the morning?
But you can always watch the rebroadcast on YouTube.
Oh, Petey, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Petey says my cousin died from COVID a couple days ago, and I made contact with him that night.
Oh, I'm sorry, Petey.
I'm very sorry, Petey. I through that pain, in the grieving. We all grieve with you, but we all know in that excitement you feel in your stomach that you made contact with him. I mean, that's incredible. And I'm very excited for you for that.
Sylvia, I didn't know that you were in the UK. All right.
Yes, Sylvia, it's 4 a.m. Oh my gosh. That's
Well,
a little too early. Like
thanks.
5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Thanks for tuning in at that time. That's crazy. You guys are dedicated. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have no idea. Rob and I we're just so grateful and fortunate to make friends with all of you, and we can kind of just meet together and brainstorm, and we can speak freely. I mean, it's incredible.
All right, we're gonna get started. Let me start up the music again. And let's
That's
get
incredible, Julie. Thank you for sharing that.
To die.
Who just said to die? The hell?
Was called
As many
Sounds like
again. Bears w- and cry.
that's weird. Who's coming through in the deep voice? Sounds like reverse.
New cut. Meant by Not your body.
Not
Listen,
your
we're
body.
On.
Run now.
Who just said Dawn?
Banya.
For what anyone
Relaxing.
the spirit
Of
The
those
spirit?
Ouch.
You're away. Illegal.
That is what you get.
Says crop.
And the
harmful effect.
edges of the lip. It was
For by Bart.
To the
and you roll
Deeper.
Neat liver.
The floor is vibrating over
Army
here.
and
That's weird.
Listening is never.
Holding a physician.
Books and
to the
to those without.
Who's in here with me?
Success.
Get protect.
I'm
Bovina.
getting a really strong smell of like body odor.
With dog.
Just said we're dark.
For those that
I don't know, Rob.
Is somebody in here that's dark?
Please the left.
Are you earthbound?
Now named
condemned.
Shakes.
You were condemned?
Shot.
You're dark?
Something of his game.
A full
Right hand of
Where to hear this?
Are you in prison?
as shot blocks.
Wondered why the
Your forehead.
in front.
Who is from the light to speak?
offered it to me.
Creature.
Creature?
To air.
But I found
For download. Coming here.
After it from vegetable.
Of white.
with them.
Just out of
It's your eye.
In here.
Who's here with me?
So production.
Always valid. Questions?
Sure.
He's
Vibration.
Who just said the vibration?
Yeah.
Suspended. The national. For Pittsburgh.
side if I can.
Guessing.
You. We are about.
Is that you?
Serious.
The female that said,
Not required.
we sent you.
If we run.
Guns were in the, to be.
Who did you send?
Flowers.
He had.
Got a fellow.
Again for. That we are.
Danced and
Was nice.
King.
Gun to what you cheat.
You're looking at tending.
All
Yes, they will. Meadow.
Sounds like they're talking amongst themselves.
When
And enjoy.
For the creature.
what it was.
And maybe get
women shop.
quickly to Oh.
One day.
of 3.
Been living in.
In it.
So our.
Joy, I have
Breathing
used
great-
to been singing bowls
To the
before.
I'm a young.
All right, we're going to end this session.
Hope.
Who's affecting Melanie's phone?
I know. Office. Momentum.
You were this.
Really give you.
In tub.
We see
Counter.
Upon the road.
Thoughts.
The name.
Should be behind.
Touches you.
19.
Ed is coming.
And recollect.
is the heart.
For campaign.
Made it.
Who are you behind?
But
Eastern has
Road they're under. Surveyor.
For a long.
Undergarment.
Nated.
Who just said get out?
George Wash.
this has a
Who's the surveyors?
Who?
Are you watching over us?
Own
is
shop.
that illegal?
Clerk.
No idea.
You asked if they're watching over us, and the female said, "Is that illegal?"
Carpathian.
And let up. Streak.
Bring an act.
Seasoned.
Who just said get out?
As feet. That is.
Who's watching us?
The driver had
Of the speed.
The tail he.
And find.
mind.
It's jump.
There's one.
All right, we're going to end this session now.
Shell.
Yeah, I'm ending it.
Number 19 kept coming across, and I was watching it. Looks like we have 19 people in the group.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know who they're surveying. They're probably just watching over us.
Well, I thought I heard a female ask you sarcastically, "Is that illegal?"
Yeah, no, I did hear that.
At least that's what I thought it said.
Yeah, I can't believe what was happening with your phone either. That's kind of like what Josh and I were talking about. Yeah, it kind of gets a little crazy. The session before was really crazy, but it's just really strange.
Yeah, those were 3 sessions I'll definitely be listening back to.
No, I stopped it. That's why it's gone quiet.
Oh, because I still hear the frequency playing.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I had the frequency still playing.
I thought you were going to start something else. I wasn't sure because you left that on.
No, I turned it off. Actually, I mean, I start to like the frequency of it. Was like one Saturday night, I played the frequency the whole night, um, and loud. When I turned it off, it was like it was like so freaky quiet in here. It was
Right.
like, yeah, it was just environment was totally different.
Yeah. Just to reiterate to everyone, I use the expression flowery. I might be a little more animated or flowery than Rob, but we're both very positive, optimistic people. I can definitely speak for myself, but I don't go looking for negative, or I don't go demon hunting, or, nothing like that. So our communication, or where you join these sessions, we're here for cooperation, communication, love, positivity. So with that being said, I found these 3 sessions tonight peculiar. I want to go back and listen to them. I don't want to swing one way or the other personally of how I thought they went, but these are some of the most impressive sessions I've experienced in a while, other than your projects you're working on, Rob. Obviously, those have been impactful on their own. But in terms of a group setting, this was remarkable for me. I have to speak for myself.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, anytime it starts getting negative, and I used to say this all the time on my show, anytime I'll always end a session, either if we're on a positive note or if it starts getting too negative, I will end the session immediately. And that's kind of why I ended the last session, because it was getting a little dark. This one was too. A little bit, but I wanted to see where it would go when
Right,
I
Dad.
did ask if if you were earthbound, um, and it said that it was condemned. That was interesting because I got validation right there. Um, but yeah, no, I'm hearing a lot of the same voices too that are coming through during those sessions that I do get during
Oh, I see that question. Yes. Through
my
Blu-ray.
project. Yeah. It sounds like the same voices coming through, so I mean that's good validation right there.
Right.
um because I mean when you start hearing the same voices coming through over and over and over on any ITC session, then you're getting valid communication. Because that's what you want to hear. You want to hear, is the same voices coming through. Why are there always not the same voices? Why are they always different? So then you start, you know, guessing, well, maybe it is just radio coming through. Um, but then once you start hearing the same voices coming through at different times of the day and night, then yeah, now you're getting validation.
Right. Thank you, Joy, for saying that. Thank you, Petey. Liliana, hi. I don't think we said hi to you yet. I think you jumped in a little while ago, but thank you for joining us. It looks like we've got some fantastic comments. Carl, their tone may being lost in translation. A lot of the times, one of the theories is with stochastic resonance, or whatever frequencies are available. If a little girl genuinely is trying to communicate with us, her voice can come through sounding transposed to lower octaves and may sound, garbled or evil because it's being transposed. It's slower. It's at a lower frequency, but that may just be because of issues in our environment, what frequencies are available. And she didn't mean to or purposely intend to transpose her voice and make it sound evil, so to speak. It comes off that way. So there is a theory that they're trying to communicate the best they can, and sometimes through interference or other issues of our environment, their frequencies are being lost to that type of interference, if you will. And frequency, what we hear, isn't always how they project their voice. That's just a theory.
Yeah. And it could be too that's why, when we use um certain voices will come through that have an accent. um you know I can't. It was like I was saying earlier, um when I use the Echo Vox, I got mostly people speaking with an accent for some weird reason. Even with I mean, with an Italian accent, with a German accent, with a Spanish accent, English accent, it was weird. I always got things with an accent. Um, but then once I put together that, because I did try to reverse engineer it just to see what, how the audio banks were set up. But even the audio banks are so distorted, it's not clear communication. I mean, they're
Right.
very distorted. It's almost like they got a very bad clip
Right.
of
Right.
an audio file. I mean, it sounds that distorted.
Well, I think Danny, Danny's an engineer, as you know,
Mhm.
uh, but I feel like that might have been done on purpose to kind
Right.
of oversaturate or distort the sound to put those extra harmonics
Could be.
in the samples to help maybe proliferate the communication. I don't know. It's just a theory. But a lot of the times, I think, and I can't give a percentage here, Rob, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the times with investigators or the paranormal, when they investigate and they get a deep, what would be perceived as an evil or demonic voice come through on an EVP or through a radio session, it may not, I'm not saying all the time, but it may not be a negative or evil spirit. It may just be that the communication was transposed a few octaves down from the originator, whoever they are, and whatever frequencies were available, their voice that they projected or however they did that didn't come across to us the same way in the same frequencies. But it doesn't mean necessarily that something's always evil or negative just because you hear what is perceived to be a growling or demonic voice.
But see, and that's what exactly, good point, Carl.
Perfect point, Carl.
Because that's what we're programmed. We're programmed,
Right.
an evil voice is going to sound evil, which isn't necessarily the case. I
Right.
mean, so if you come across somebody that was a heavy smoker and they have a really raspy voice, you're going to automatically think, oh, she's a witch, or, he's evil because he has a deep, raspy voice. No, that's their vocal tone.
Right. And I don't want to claim I know the energies that are coming through and I can say definitively everything that sounds quote unquote demonic is or isn't demonic, but just to be aware of that when we're talking about frequency, if this is how this works, then we need to be very aware of the fact that a lot of these voices that many investigators jump to conclusions saying, oh, it's demonic or it's evil or your house is haunted. It may just be that that voice came through on those frequencies based on what was available from the source to the environment to us. A lot can happen. A lot can change.
Exactly.
Especially if we're talking about, transcommunication, communication in between and through dimensions. I mean, you have to assume that if I call Rob on the phone and my voice sounds different, it's because the phone uses like an advanced kelp coding. So Rob and I can talk on the phone. So if we can't talk on the phone with each other in perfectly clear communication, imagine trying to get communication, whether it's through thought, energy, or frequency, to another dimension. There's going to be some transposing of frequencies or information lost.
Yes, I know that witches aren't evil. I have a lot of friends that are witches. So
Right.
yeah.
Good
But
point.
Same thing with Satanists. Satanists aren't evil. Actually, people that are Satanists are like some of the nicest people that I've ever met.
Excellent point, Melody. Yes, and that's another excellent point. Are the innocent, the voices that seemingly feel innocent and gentle, little children's voices. People have reported those are negative energies. I don't really like to throw around the word demon or demonic, but I'll just use that for a lack of better words right now. There could be a demonic force disguising itself in a friendly little girl's voice or little boy's voice. And again, that could be the shifting or transposing of frequencies. So, right, we don't know. We just don't know. And this, again, everything I've just said is all theory. I can't prove any of this.
No, exactly. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a night. Um, yeah, that's the thing about that's such a bad thing about this field is, or just in general, people stereotype a lot of things, and you know the paranormal isn't evil, witches aren't evil. There's a lot of people that aren't evil. I mean, some of the most evil people that I have ever met were people that are very religious because they're very hypocritical. Um, but I'm just saying, I'm I lived in the Bible Belt, and a lot of people that I would talk to, you would hear them outside of when they were away from church, and I'm like, "Are you serious? This person's really talking like this right now?" They're totally different when they're away from church. And it's sad,
Yeah, it is. It
but
is.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just in general. I mean, people are people. I mean, they want to show their true colors, you know, but
Right.
when people do show their true colors and they show who they are, it's like, wow, this person's really cool. I would never, you just stereotype people, and
Right.
I start talking to somebody that has certain beliefs, and then I was like, wow, this guy's like really cool. You would never, because everybody goes by impressions or what they believe in or whatever. But then once you sit down and talk to them, and you start to see who they really are, you're like, wow, you know what? You can't stereotype. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't.
Right. Right.
Anyway,
You're right.
yeah. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I know tonight's show was a little bit different, but I will be getting to everybody. I'll get the notes from Josh, and I will put some homework together for the people that have volunteered, and um, I will get some information over to you guys, what I need you to do, and give you your homework assignment. And then we're going to also um, we're going to talk about that next week on what we did during that experiment. And we'll even do some of those experiments here on the show next week. Don't worry, it will be there will be communication. It will be in reverse speech. So I just want to see what the results that other people had, and we'll do the same results or same test here, and then kind of compare notes. So it'll be interesting.
Well, Rob, I'd like to thank you real quick for inviting me on your Saturday show. And with your group, you guys welcomed me in, and I greatly appreciate it. I'm very grateful. And to all of you who follow Rob and our Wednesday show and our Saturday show, I just want to say thank you so much. And look into my eyes. Thank you so much. No, I mean it, really. Thank you for joining us.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you for the friendship. Thank you for the support. Your love and fuel, we feel that, and it's pushing us to work on projects and bring it back to you. And we just kind of come full circle with everything. So thank you so much for joining us. It means everything.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll find something that's on Apple. I mean, I have an iPhone, so that's what I use. But some of the apps that I know that are free and they're in reverse speech are on Android only.
We love you too, guys.
But I'm gonna take a look and see what I can find for Apple users. Just a lot of apps on the iPhone aren't free. And I don't want to have somebody have to go out and pay money for something.
No.
Yeah, when I don't even know if it's gonna work.
Right.
So,
Right.
um,
It's a
so I
good point.
want to try some things that I do know that are in reverse speech, things like that. So I'll do some research. I'll look around on the iPhone, but I want to make sure that they're free. Like I said, I just don't want people to have to pay money and then they don't work.
Or if they pay money, we'll just send you the bill. You can reimburse everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Thank you, everyone. See you Wednesday.